Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Behind the Panel. My name is Patrick Booth. I'm a business development manager here at Almo Pro AV. Doing something a little different. Normally, we talk a little bit about technology with some of our technology partners, but I got this idea. We were at a reseller event back in the fall in Austin, and I had the pleasure of having dinner with Teresa, who's one of our salespeople, and I'll go around the room and let everyone introduce themselves. And she had her customer, Jonathan Bites, there as well. And really throughout dinner, I was taken aback by how much Jonathan had to say about Teresa and what a difference maker she was. And if for all you folks, all the tens of viewers that do watch Behind the Panel every month, thank you very much. If you've ever been to one of our E4 shows, one of the things that you'll hear Dan Smith talk about is he talks about our people being the difference, because you can buy technology anywhere. But I think with what we have here, the secret sauce is in the people that we have. So just going around the room real quick, we'll introduce everybody. So we have Chad Harrison. Chad, if you want to take a moment to introduce yourself, your role here.
Yeah, VP of Sales for our Southwest Territory and for Almo Pro AV. Been in the business for about 18 or actually 22 plus years. And yeah.
Very, very good, sir. Teresa.
I'm Teresa Gladys. I'm a Territory Account Manager at Almo Pro AV, based in Buffalo, New York, and I've been here for 6.5 years.
Amazing. Marcos. I'm going counterclockwise.
My name is Marcos Gutierrez. I'm the owner of QA Systems. We are an audiovisual integrator out of Austin, Texas. We've been in business about 36 years, doing solely AV, Pro AV for the past over 15 years now. Yeah.
And John.
Yeah, I'm Jonathan Bites. I'm the president of Javi AV. We're located in San Antonio, Texas, but we're a national AV integrator, and we specialize, our clients are restaurant and retail chains throughout the U.S.
So, John, since you're the last one talking, I'll start with you. How did you come to do business with Almo Pro AV? What can you tell us about that experience? What brought you to us?
Yeah, so it was actually in 2020. We were looking for a new distributor partner to help us, and we were actually referred to Almo by a manufacturer, and we happened to get connected with Teresa, and we had a conversation with her, and we were confident at the end that we knew that she would take care of us. She just was very personable. You could tell she had good communication skills, and so we decided to give it a try, and we've been loyal to Almo ever since, and Teresa's always taken care of our account for us.
Very, very good. Marcos, what brought you to Almo? Although I kind of know your story, I'll let you tell it again.
Yeah, we started in the industry over 15 years ago in the Pro AV industry, and I didn't know anything about AV, and I was trying to sell some projectors. We were in the network business and IT business forever, and I was trying to sell some projectors. I had no idea who to call, where to even buy them from, and I think I called Epson, and Epson was like, call Chad, and then eventually Chad had reached out to me as well. So it just kind of went from there, and I literally knew nothing about projectors, knew nothing about how to install them. I didn't know what I was doing, and Chad literally taught me how to do AV. He was the very first person who showed me how to calculate throw ratios, what projector I needed. I mean, he literally did everything for me. And from the very beginning, when I first met Chad, when we first talked on the phone, it wasn't like I was talking to a sales rep. It was literally like I was talking to one of my boys, one of my friends. It was very, very open communication. Felt very comfortable with him. I trusted him within 5 minutes. And he hasn't failed me since, almost 20 years since. And still now, he's never selling to me. He's just like talking to me like he's one of my friends, and he is one of my friends. And, it seems very comfortable with him, and I trust him, with anything.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. The feedback is great. And it's honestly, it's something that we hear a lot of times from a lot of our reseller partners out there is the relationships that they've developed with their sales reps over the years. Contrasting that, how much experience do you have with other distributors? Is there a difference between what you find here versus what you find with some of the other, mainline distributors, I guess is a better term, because we're so focused on Pro AV. John, I'll throw that to you.
Yeah, we have had other distributors in the past, and we've seen a lot of turnover which has been frustrating, and we have not seen that. Obviously, Teresa's been there for a while now, and that's good to see. So you develop that relationship over time. The products that Almo has is what we look for. A lot of the products that we have, other distributors may not have. And so we kind of have our products that we kind of stick to, and you guys pretty much cover most of it. And so those are probably the two big reasons why.
Great. Marcos, same question to you, my friend.
Yeah, my situation is a little different. We can buy most of the stuff we need from anybody else. And as I tell my procurement team, I don't care who we can buy it from, we're buying it from Chad. Because I know at the end of the day, when we have an issue, whatever the issue may be, it may be lead time issue, an issue with the manufacturer, a credit line issue. I know no matter what, again, I'm talking to one of my friends here, I'm talking to one of my boys. I'm going to call him up and he's going to help me out. And I know he always has my back, no matter what. So that's why we buy from them. It's not for the products. It's because Chad is there.
You mentioned problems arising, which kind of triggers something in my mind in that conversation at dinner. Excuse me, John. I remember you talking about that specifically with Teresa, that you have had instances where things have gone sideways, and I'll let you tell it because you'll probably tell it better than I'll recall it. So.
Yeah, no, we have had a few things have gone sideways in the past with other distributors, but Teresa's a person that has great communication skills. She's on it. She takes care of it. So, we were confident in the fact that if there is something, she finds a solution. So I know we've had a couple of things in the past where maybe it was a product was out of stock. Well, she's already proactive and already has something that we can pivot to if we need to. So it's going above and beyond, and that's what Teresa's always done.
I know you think Chad's amazing, Marcos. Is there any specific amazing thing that he has done that you can recall in your tenure of buying from us?
I have a specific one. We had a very large deal for a big client of ours that I worked for about 3 years. And when it finally came to fruition, it was, purchasing close to $20 million of displays. And obviously, I was still, at that time, I was still kind of starting in the business, and I didn't have any kind of credit line or anything really to my name to be able to make that kind of purchase. And Chad trusted me with that order, and we found a way to make it work with his contacts. He worked the other side, the manufacturer side. He worked at that point. It was a deal with Sharp, and he went, as high as he could with Sharp, and we got in meetings with them, and they met me, they trusted me, and he put his faith in me, and because of the relationships, we made that deal work. Whereas any other integrators would have had a very hard time with that, such a big deal. And somehow, little old integrator out of Austin, Texas, was able to, make that kind of deal happen. And that's because Chad worked his contacts. And, I'm very happy for that and very thankful for him being able to help us out like that.
Again, another amazing story. Pivoting slightly, how has the Pro AV industry changed since you guys got into it? Marcos, I'll give it to you first this time.
I think after COVID, everything has changed for all of us. We kind of learned to do business a different way. And for us specifically, we had to train our clients to do business a different way. Obviously having supply chain issues was a killer. 2021, 2022 was really, really tough. It's still kind of hard now, but it was really tough back then. And we had to train clients that, as soon as we have a material available, we're buying it immediately. And we're going to be invoicing for the material. We might be holding that material for a while, but it's going to be invoiced and it's going to be here for you. Back then, before COVID, you couldn't do that. It was really, really hard. We work a lot in public sector, and it was really hard back then to do those kind of deals because, nobody would pay you for materials on hand. And we had to literally train our clients over a course of 2 years that this is the new way this business happens. This is the new way business is done. And it's still prevalent these days. Prices, as we know, as you guys all know, is changing, sometimes weekly. Manufacturers aren't holding pricing for very long anymore, and the pricing fluctuates. And that conversation with clients has to happen proactively and all the time.
Yeah.
If you're working a project that takes a year to finish, that conversation is happening month to month, depending on when you need the product. So it's really changed drastically. You got to really be on top of things and be proactive about pricing and lead times.
And I take it that Chad is holding up his end of the bargain and staying on top of that communication with you.
100%.
Good to hear. Chad, it's good. I got to double check you. I've known Chad for about 17 years now, so I do like to double check and make sure that people are telling the truth about him, because I hear all these wonderful stories, but I know him from a different side, Marcos. So you'll have to, I take it with a grain of salt. John, how about you? What has changed for you in the industry? What has changed? Has anything changed in your relationship with us? Or I'll let you answer.
Yeah, so I've been in the industry since 1998. So obviously there's been a lot of things changed in the AV industry, from, all analog systems to now digital, and, it used to be all hard.
We're there for the first plasmas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, about 2005, 2006. Yeah. So anyways, it's been a lot of changes. But as Marcos kind of said, our industry changed even, more after COVID and during COVID. So, that's right when we started the relationship with Almo. So I think the big difference maker that really helped a lot, since 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, when we had a lot of back order situations and couldn't get product, we rarely found any problems there. And Teresa, I know, did what she could to try to shift stuff around and make sure that we always had product or product on hold if we knew we were going to use it over the next couple months. So that's really helped. But yeah, that's probably the two biggest changes.
Excellent. Appreciate it. I'm going to go around the room, just get some kind of final thoughts now. Chad, anything that you can add to the discussion, anything that you feel is important here that we want to emphasize?
Yeah, I think the overall theme here, and I think you find this with a lot of our customers and our sales reps relationships, is that we are partners, not just your vendor, but we strive to be your partner, and find, in that we don't just sell you stuff, but we're trying to find solutions that whatever that might be. When there's problems, we find fixes to those problems. When you need something, sometimes we don't carry stuff, and we go find out who might have it and send you that way if that's the best option. The other thing is turnover. You don't see a lot of turnover with us. Our sales reps, we build really strong relationships because we're around a long time. You'll find that with almost all of our sales team members, is that a lot of our guys have double-digit industry experience, and a lot of them double digits with this company and with the accounts that they work. And I think that is why, excuse me, but that is what makes us different from our competition. And I think you're hearing part of that here today.
It's honestly, so I'm on the business development side, so I hear the same thing from our vendor partners. We treat it as a relationship, as a partnership, because we want to grow business together. And I think that's really kind of underlying in terms of what our culture is all about here. Teresa, we haven't talked to you much, so I'm going to give you I know you've been waiting.
I know.
You've been waiting for your moment in the spotlight.
I've been taking notes. So Chad nailed it. A lot of that is what I would also like to say, but I'll take a further step that this is a true partnership. We are successful when our dealers are successful, and the feedback that they provide to us, whether it's on our products or services, it's invaluable. So couldn't do it without you guys. Really appreciate the time to talk about it today. And, we're all spread out across the country. So I'm looking forward to our next gathering. Hopefully we'll do something fun, like, drive some race cars again.
Marcos, any final thoughts for you?
I mean, again, I think Chad hit it on the head. It's about a partnership and about a level of customer service that is different than you find anywhere else. For example, another story again. We got a lot of stories with Chad. But I had just started talking to him, hadn't bought too much from you guys, and I was going up to Portland with my wife. Chad lives in Seattle. We hadn't met yet. We just talked on the phone a few times. What does Chad do? He comes down to Portland with his wife and spends the weekend with my wife and I. That was the first time I had met him in person. Mm-hmm. I had only talked to him on the phone a few times, and he came down and spent a whole weekend with us to grow that relationship without us really having purchased too much from him in the past.
Yeah.
And that really my wife was like, who's this guy? Come and see us? Why is he coming? I was like, I've never met him before. I don't know who he is. I just talked to him on the phone. And then now look at us now, right? We have spent an amazing weekend together, met his wife, like our families met. And, that's the kind of customer service that you don't see anywhere. You don't see that with anybody else. You don't see that from any distributor, any manufacturer, really. You don't see that. That doesn't exist anymore. And, him doing that has also instilled a certain level of customer service that I want to provide to my customers as well, right?
Wow.
Seeing that as an example has changed the way I interact with my clients and our employees interact with their clients as well. We go that extra step to do those kind of things because, of the examples I was taught, and one of them by him.
That's an amazing testimony. I don't know what I could possibly add to that. John, throw it over to you. You got a tough act to follow on that one.
Yeah, I know. I don't have any, Teresa. You've got to come down here. We got to hang out. I'm actually gonna go on the solution side because you guys had a recent. One thing that you guys are doing is always trying to come up with something that would help the integrator or the customers. And something recently you guys just added to your portfolio is display inspections. And Teresa brought that to us as soon as that was available because she knew we've had some issues, broken displays inside boxes, and unfortunately you get the techs in the field and they're working on hanging a display and it's broken, and so it's just it adds time, it adds cost, it frustration to the customer. So you guys have a new product that you just debuted just recently where you're doing display inspection. So you're actually physically displaying it, making sure that the screen is good, it's not broken, adding some extra packaging in it. And so we've seen that broken displays significantly drop off. So thank you. I mean, that's just another testament of Almo looking out for the customer and Teresa letting us know about it and something that helps us. So
yeah. And I'll quickly add to that because Javi, has been one of the first customers to adopt this service widely. So we've taken a lot of the feedback that you and Irma and the rest of the team have provided to fine tune it. And we're hoping that we're going to expand into other distribution centers. So largely, thank you for helping us get there.
And shout out to
Great.
Morgan Glandorf from our services team, Link Lab, because that idea came from a business development team's brainstorming session a few national sales meetings ago. That's where that whole thing got baked, and Morgan took that and really ran with it, and we've had some great success with it. So I did promise I sent out some topics of questions, and I told Chad and Marcos they're going to have one bonus question. That's what we're going to close with. So Chad's already laughing. He doesn't even know what's coming. But so I am a lifelong Buffalo Bills fan. If you couldn't guess, if you've never watched before, I don't sleep in Buffalo Bills PJs, but just about everything else around me is Buffalo Bills related. Not a college football fan. So I have my phone here. I've got a timer. I'm going to give you each 45 seconds. I want to know, should I be a U of Texas fan or an Ohio State fan? So I'll let Marcos be our guest. So I'm going to let Marcos go first. Marcos, 45 seconds about University of Texas. Give me the Longhorn sale.
All right, Longhorn sell. Number one word. You get to live in Austin. That's it. That's it. You can't beat that.
I still think about the tacos in Austin. I'm not going to.
I mean, that's it. All that comes with living in Austin.
Forget the barbecue. Marcos and I had a business meeting one time. We spent 4.5 hours standing in line for Franklin's, and that was the business meeting. Because then when I got my food, I'm like, I can't stay. I got a flight I got to catch, and we literally got the food to go, and I ran to the airport and almost missed my flight. You're
telling me at Ohio State, not telling me how wonderful Texas barbecue is.
I had to but you're right. So I do live in Seattle, but I am originally from Ohio and a huge Buckeyes fan. Marcus and I go back and forth. We do have the second game of the season, and I will say that Ohio State, first off, in the last 3 years, right now we are 2-0. This year will be 3-0. So there's one thing. I will give you Austin. I would much rather live in Austin than Columbus. Hence, I live in Seattle. But you got to look at Ohio State. We're the juggernauts. We should have went to the national title last year. We did not. But when you talk about Jeremiah Smith, you talk about that defense, that's going to be hard to beat. Wow.
You got into the nuts and bolts of it. I'm going to go with the old adage, the customer's always right. So it looks like from now on, I'm so we're going to devote the other side of the room to orange. We're going to make that burnt orange over there, and that's where I'm going all in.
Let's go.
Yeah. Folks, I cannot thank you all enough for carving out your time. We're in Infocom season. We're Infocom in week or so here. Really appreciate you guys taking time out of your days to come on and talk nonsense with me. Thank you so much, everyone else. We will see you next time on Behind the Panel.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you.